Reset the signal.
Let's see if it's working. Let's see if it is working.
There, push the cushion backwards.
Push the cushion backwards.
Reconnected.
That's something that it always wants to do. Just disconnect and then reconnect. That's all it wants to do for some reason. It's like if it worked in the bedroom, we would not have a problem, but like, I don't know what's going on tonight. It's around 10:35.
Yeah, because it's late. That's why.
Probably. Yeah.
What time was it yesterday?
Maybe.
It was 7:30 yesterday when we started.
7:30.
It's not late.
It's too late.
7:30 is not late at all.
No, 7:30 wasn't late.
No.
10:30 is late.
Now it looks like we probably jumped a viewer. No.
Talking about now.
We have a viewer?
Yeah, so we jumped something.
Okay, so are we actually live right now or what? Are we
I don't know what's going on.
Only because, yeah, it keeps on saying bad connection, bad connection. Maybe the viewer can say, can you hear us, see us? Because we don't know if we're broadcasting, because we're still up in Fremont. And our connection is really bad.
No.
Okay. Well, why don't we just keep on talking and see if something happens?
I don't know.
Does it make sense to talk?
Let me try to reach for the phone to see what I can do.
Did you and together
Maybe reach
talking
the
about
phone.
anything?
Well, we can't. Well, we can't really do anything
Yeah, we
because
don't want to talk too much and blow our talk because there might not be anybody watching.
Aren't you guys if you do anything?
Grandpa.
Huh?
Grandpa, I might have to move the phone.
Oh, you gotta move the phone?
Is to see if any other spot would work. Because right now it is blowing itself over.
So if anybody's out there, Dominic's moving the phone because we have such a bad connection. He's gonna see if he can pick. Oh, now he's coming back over here.
I will have to.
I thought he was moving it to somewhere else.
Let's see if it'll work up here. What? What? No. Am I being delusional right now?
What?
It's working.
Okay, we're green.
We're green. Now we're red.
Well, we were green.
we were green.
Maybe it worked when it was right next to the. No, we're
But
green.
now it's going back green again. This is actually what it did last night. It was
Well,
playing
now maybe
playing around like
maybe
that.
it's a little bit better now.
I think it's acting better now.
Okay.
This is what it was doing last night, so
Okay.
let me skip over.
So.
Alright, so anybody who is out there right now, go ahead, sound off in the comments or the chat.
So this is what a lot of people do already anyway, right? They have a chat. Huh?
No,
Well, I don't
wait.
know if we're.
Oh gosh. Okay, so it's still doing that.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Well, we have to wait. Just give us a sec, Arnie. Hold on. Besides, I'm the director of this whole spiel, and I just feel like right now I'm not sure what's going on here. So we seem to have a concurrent viewer right now. This is all centered.
So is there actually one viewer there? Or is this a question
Maybe.
mark?
That question mark right there is the number of people connected to the stream at the most recently available time. So.
Okay. Yeah, it sure was quite some day on the river. It's too bad the fish weren't biting better.
Yep. And we're still off-centered. Moving. So, basically, let me reload that. Here. I'm reloading the chat right now, just to see, because it looks like it's working now like it did last time. Why is this saying, oh. Jeez, everything's like falling today. Alright, chance to give me a sec while I reassign the chat. Looks like everything's changing all over. Alright, if that is not a problem, here we go. So right now looks like our delay is about 12 seconds, which is respectable. And we will talk about our topics right now. So yeah,
Okay.
let's go on ahead. So if any people are there or not, we'll talk about it, and who knows. So anyway, it's today on the Grandpa Joe Show, tonight rather, even though this is a chatting session, we were out fishing for most of the day today, which is why we're on this late at night, at about 10:41 Central Time.
And fishing was miserable, but the day was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a little bit hot, but we survived that. And got her. At least I put my feet in the water a little bit and enjoyed that. And Dominic had a good time riding around the boat. You know, he's getting the hang of cruising that thing around. Got it up to, you're probably going about 25, 30 miles an hour at times.
I was going 20.
20, that's it?
Yeah, I was going 20.
Well, I'd like to give you an extra 5 anyway.
I usually just go the honest way down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so something else that we actually did today is that we just basically turned to a competition. Is that the fishing was so low? Turns out the white bass had probably already done their swan.
Yeah, this is pretty late in the season already, and apparently this is usually you always run into some fish, but this was just bad out there. Nothing happening.
Yeah, it turns out the network's actually working better than it did last night. So
that's good.
That's better.
So
let me try to raise up the bit rate, because I only turned it down temporarily to compensate for this. Let me turn up to 1500. Alright, so we should be in slightly better quality now. So basically turned this into a competition, and I ended up actually
winning.
Yeah, ended up winning. And yeah, so we did that. So this is the proof that, and the moment I turn it up to 1500 kilobytes a second, the network goes on the fritz. Oh, now it's coming back, and now it's not. All right, let me turn it back down once more, because it seems like it didn't like it.
Is this what everybody's seeing right here?
Yeah, it's just I turned it down to 144p because just not to interfere with the network too much.
And did they hear us, obviously, with everything? But.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I need to have that. There. Should be fine now. Looks like got two concurrent viewers. Now we got 2. Alright. So, this is basically the proof that I had won, and let it roll.
just hear the
All right,
screen.
so basically that is the proof that we did basically what I did is that I ended up winning the competition plus an extra point for white bass for
Which
being
is
a
what
white
we were
bass.
coming up here for in the first place, was white bass fishing. Well, not exactly just that, but usually when we come up, we always come up for the white bass run, and it was the tail end of the run, and I guess it was really the tail end. I think the run was just done. They were gone. They did their thing and they went back down river, and that was it. Sometimes you come up here and you can catch literally. We've already been up here and between my friends and I and Harmony, probably 600 fish one time. And that was a lot of cleaning. And we gave fish away even to our church that time, and they appreciated it. It was they had a big meal for all their employees or something, and they really enjoyed it. So that was good. And what else did we do today? Yeah, in the morning, one of our things we always on a Sunday we always plan on going out to the mass wherever we're at, and so we're up in Fremont, and the closest Catholic church, because we're Catholic, is in Waiawega, St. Peter and Paul's. But that is one beautiful little church, and a lot of hope there with a lot of young parishioners. 2 people were baptized, and it was very good to see. And that church was modeled because Harmony and I, Uncle Joel, we went to Israel. We went to by the Sea of Galilee, and the church here in Waiawega was modeled after, at least we believe it was, because it looked just like it, at St. Peter's home by the Sea of Galilee. They actually built a church right over the top of his home, and it's a circular church. And that church, you're kind of on top of St. Peter's home, and they put a whole glass floor on the bottom of it, of that church, and you could look down into the old remains of his home. You could see the walls and everything. But this church was almost like it was built. It was actually like built like St. Peter's home, because there was a hole in the top of the church instead. And you can envision in the story about where Peter, in Peter's house there, when there was a cripple that was lowered down into the house when Jesus was there, and Peter's going, "Don't break my roof," you know. Well, I think that was more on a movie, but it wasn't. I think it's what in the Bible, it's actually in there where he lowers him down through the roof. But anyway, it was kind of interesting to see this from Peter's home view, with the hole on the top where they would have lowered that cripple down where Jesus healed the cripple. And which I could go on and on about Israel. Just the fact that in right by St. Peter's home, it's not even a block away. It's about a half a block away. There's a synagogue, and if you read in the Bible, they talk about that they came from the synagogue to St. Peter's home. So all those things you're witnessing when you do go to Israel, if you ever have a chance, it's all right in the Bible. It's just like you're walking through the Bible, and it's just wonderful. So that's my comment about that. If that made any sense.
Yeah, that made since it's going on the fritz again, but not as much as it did earlier. So looks like stream's coming back up, but right now, what's going on is that this morning when I was searching around and whatnot, is the whole idea about DXing, which I think we covered in an earlier episode of the Grandpa Joe show. So what is happening was that I think I can pull it off right now if I wanted to. Is that on this Midland weather radio, or Midland walkie-talkie that also is a weather radio, I managed to get multiple stations actually. Literally 3 stations in a row, like on channels 3, 4, and 5, I think it was, in terms of weather radio channel numbers. And so what happened is that I found multiple stations, and there was even some like 2 stations mixing with each other as well. Like one was behind the other. So I was like, that's a little interesting. And lately, as it's been transitioning into the summer months, a lot of times tropospheric DXing and whatnot start going on. And so far, if I had known, if I know now, and this might lag out this stream, but if I head on over to a website here that'll cover this. This is gonna probably lag out the stream for a quick sec. Get a sec to load. Yeah, we got some good DX tonight, actually. Let me share my screen here for the live stream on here. And there looks like to be some good DXing actually going on tonight from here in Wisconsin, from here in northeastern Wisconsin all the way to Michigan, Indiana, Ohio even. So
would it be good to have your dongle plugged into the computer tonight?
Let's see what it will do, because this map here is based off of APRS stations, if you know what those are, that are on a frequency of 144 megahertz, which is in between the FM broadcasting band and the NOAA weather radio band, which is on 162 megahertz. And that's where APRS is located at 144 megahertz. So technically right now, if got something else rigged up, I can pick up faraway stations. So basically, I'm trying to on nights like these, I would listen to what the stations are, like the stations that I'm receiving are, and a lot of times during the night, what I would hear, here, let me turn this off, is that there's something, a mode of DXing called tropospheric scatter DX, or troposcatter, where it's a nightly event that happens due to a temperature inversion, basically between the atmosphere and the ground. And because of this, radio waves can just bounce in between, do the similar tropospheric ducting like you do in tropo DXing, except it's just not as far-reaching as it is in, like, say, in tropospheric DXing. Basically, I can pick up stations, like, usually from our home, that's usually about 100 miles south of here. I can actually pick up not only of our local. Hey, it looks like somebody commented on us here. And let me get to YouTube. How are I? How are we? We're actually doing fine tonight. I mean, it's getting late at night.
Yeah, well, okay, I had one question.
The question?
Or maybe just tell the viewers what DX means.
Okay, so DXing is basically a shortened version for distance. I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken. But basically DXing is basically trying to get the farthest station you can. Basically, it's just getting stations that are not in your local area.
Okay. There's some sort of comment came up.
Susan seen Taylor Swift. Hey, whatever. We don't judge what the viewers do. Is fine.
I can't read what they're saying. My eyes aren't that good.
So basically, DXing as a hobby, it's actually quite fun to do. I mean, Troposcatter DXing was already.
I always enjoy just driving and trying to tune in stations late at night.
Oh yeah,
and you can pick them up all the way from Texas to. I've had a lot of Indiana, Michigan, Iowa. I don't know, all the different, a lot of different states. I've never had anything like California or anything like that.
So basically, but basically, what Grandpa's referring to is the whole spiel with AM, with AM being so low on the frequency dial. You can really pick up stations from far away at night, and in fact during the daytime, sometimes even. One of our stations that we normally get, 620 kilohertz on WTMJ, we actually, I actually looked at a coverage map for it. Turns out that there is the coverage pattern just goes all the way up to Green Bay and as far south as Chicago. And there's actually multiple factors that go into this. Is that how AM works with its coverage patterns is that it goes by either ground wave or sky wave. Most of the time it's ground wave, where it goes down into the ground and goes out like that into the ground. But because Wisconsin has perfect conductive conditions for amplitude modulation on this sort of scale, it can go far. So basically, the coverage map there, it goes all the way up to Green Bay and as far south as Chicago. And I bet you, if I had an AM radio right now, I would be able to pick up that station on there. So yeah, that's basically what's going on with that. So yeah, it looks like our stream's actually holding up now. Finally.
Okay, so now we're finally on. We were getting confused before because we didn't even know if we were on.
Yeah. So, I actually kind of came up with this while we were doing the stream. Tell you what, I think we might do, probably streams from probably now on, instead of pre-record shows.
We could.
Yeah, it's just we would have to organize stuff.
But although the pre-recorded shows, because if you do the stream, don't you dub? You can't dub stuff in, right?
No, we can.
Oh, for the obviously not while it's streaming, but later on when it gets redone or what?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to figure that stuff out, but I will figure that stuff out, and we'll do whatever we can. So, yeah, basically we'll be doing live streams instead of pre-recorded shows from now on, and pre-recorded shows as in ever since November, from episode 1 all the way up to now, we were doing pre-recorded shows, and then just yesterday, we were doing basically Grandpa Joe show number 11 is a live stream, and we did attract a pretty good audience actually last night.
Yeah,
it's just unfortunate.
I don't think we're quite prepared tonight to be talking too much here.
Yeah, so Yeah, so unfortunately we weren't out long enough to, like, we weren't here by like 7:30 and whatnot, so we're probably not getting as many viewers as we did on last night's stream. But yeah, that's about what's going on, and yeah, well, that's about a wrap here on the Grandpa Joe Show for tonight. And without further ado, we say good night and God bless here from the Grandpa Joe Show, live at 11 o'clock at night, top of the hour.
God bless y'all.
Good night and God bless.
I remember